Hey, my friend, you probably already know this, but strong, healthy teams don't just happen by accident. They're built when we as leaders actually invest in our people, understand our own strengths and blind spots, and are intentional about creating a healthy team culture. Hi, I'm Robbin Kent, and welcome to Teamwork Made Easier. In this podcast, we'll explore how people are wired and how to leverage our strengths, navigate those frustrations, and build that trust so teams can collaborate more effectively. Because one thing I know is this: when people are understood and supported, they don't just perform better, they start to love what they do and who they work with. So grab your coffee, lean in, and let's make teamwork easier starting today. Hey, my friend. Okay, welcome back to Teamwork Made Easier. I am thrilled to be back here with you today and give you some insight of how to have great conversations with your staff members, with your leadership team, the people who you work beside, the people who you work over, just helping you have better conversations. This is something that probably since I was little bitty, I had no problems talking. I mean, I did, in kindergarten. I don't know if you're anything like me, but in kindergarten, I did get on my report card that said, Robbin talks too much. So conversating and talking has never been a challenge. But as I've grown up, I've had to learn better ways to do it, more productive ways, more effective ways of having conversations with people, and especially in the workplace. And so that's what I would love to dig in with you today, is how to have some great conversations with your people at work. And honestly, this will actually help you at home, with your kids, anybody. It's going to help. I promise you. So here, take a listen and let's talk about one technique that can help you have even better conversations. So what we're going to dig into in having a good conversation is what I like to call open-ended questions. Think about this. If you don't know what the difference between like open-ended and closed questions, so a closed question would be like, do you want that in red or black? They're going to give you one answer. Okay. There's no elaboration. If you say, would you like a hot coffee or a cold coffee? That's a close-ended question because they're getting one response. Or if you're asking a yes or no question, then that is going to be like a close-ended question. But when you move into an open-ended question and you pause and you are leaning in and waiting for the response, then people again feel appreciated, feel heard, feel seen. You start building a team culture that people know that they're seen, they're heard, and appreciated. So with an open-ended question, you're going to not just say, how was your day? And think people are going to say, good. And then you're going to plan on keep on walking. You're going to ask things of, how has your day been? How has it been going? So you're actually asking them to tell you about the day instead of you trying to give them the answer. Maybe another way that you can actually start with an open-ended question is, talk to me more about that. Tell me more about that. When they're trying to tell you about a problem they're having, or they're even telling you about a victory that they had at work. If you just pause and say, something like, tell me more about that. Talk to me about that. That's giving them permission and giving them like, okay, you're going to hang out and you really want to know what this answer is. Or you could say, walk me through that. Maybe they're having problems with some kind of technology. Maybe, things aren't working or something like that, and you're trying to actually understand what's going on. You could say, walk me through what's going on that problem. And then you're pausing and you're actually taking time to listen. And another way that you can use is help me understand more about that. Help me understand what's going on there. So when you ask those kinds of questions, instead of when you're getting just a single answer back, that is an open-ended question. When you ask those and you truly pause and wait and listen, then people are going to feel safer to actually have a conversation with you. And again, like I said, this works at home with your significant other, with your children, and at work, of course, because the more that we take time in this busy world that we live in, no matter if you're a team member or you are the boss or you're about to be the boss, then when you take time to actually have a conversation with people that is a two-way street, it is going to be more and more effective, one. And number two, you build a stronger team culture that I know that you are eager to have. Because when you have that stronger team culture, then the hard days are not so hard, because everybody is in there together. If you are having some big reports that are to be done, but you have a strong team culture, then people are getting along, they're working together, and they're making things happen together. And so all of these pieces that you do before the headaches and the big events and all those things come when you have a solid foundation and when the teamwork is smooth and everyone is working well together, then those hiccups, those big things that come your way are so much easier to manage and work through. So I want to challenge you. Go out there, start asking open-ended questions. This is one simple way that will have such a ripple effect throughout everything you do. And I would love for you to email me or find me on social media. Let me know, how does that help you in asking the open-ended questions? Because one thing I know, and we've talked about before on the podcast, is that whenever you do this, then your team is going to, one, feel seen and appreciated, but two, they're going to start doing the same thing. So you're creating that team culture that you want to have, and you're going to make teamwork easier. All right, my friend, have a wonderful week, and I will be talking to you again really soon. Hey, my friend. Thanks so much for spending this time with me on Teamwork Made Easier. My hope is that today's conversation helped you see yourself, your team, or your leadership just a little more clearly. If you want to take this a step further, I'd love for you to grab my How You Are Wired to Work productivity tool. It's a simple, practical way to understand how you naturally work best, what gives you energy, and what might be quietly draining you, so you can work with more clarity, less frustration, and a whole lot more ease. Go to robbinkent.com/tool. That's robbinkent.com/tool. You can find the link down in the show notes, because when you understand how you're wired and how the people around you are wired, it changes the way you lead, the way you collaborate, and the way your team shows up. All right. Thanks again for being here. If this episode was helpful, share it with a friend or another leader who could use it. And be sure to join me next time as we keep building teams where people love what they do and who they work with.